And then, again, other people came, looked at him in disgust and went away. And for the king, he could not understand what is wrong with his speech. So, then 4 children came and hugged him. And he was amazed. And a woman came and hugged him. He was more amazed. But the most amazing thing is that the same children and same wife was in the dream. He was wondering, how is it possible? Then they were calling him father. This shocked him more. So, at the same time, Guru Nanak Dev Ji came by and he said, stop, this is not your father and this is not your husband. Then he said, they were all confused. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, please tell your story. Then the children tell the story that the father went up on the tree and he fell down. The same thing that he dreamt that night. The children were telling the same story. He fell down from the tree and he died. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji said to him, please, this is not your husband, this is the king. So let's go to your home. They went to home and they saw the body was still there. They were confused because the body looked exactly like the king. And he asked Guru Nanak Dev Ji, how is it possible? Then Guru Nanak Dev Ji said to him, that's what Satsang do. That's what the grace of the Guru does. That what you just saw right now is actually your next life. Due to some negative karmic things from this life, you would have to take that life. But that 40 years, you have escaped from just one dream. So that 40 years that he had to go through in the next life, Guru Nanak Dev Ji have made it possible that karma have removed completely and he been freed just in a state of a dream only. So that's what Guru does. The ways of the masters are incomprehensible. Even if you want to comprehend it, you will comprehend it with a limited point of view. How can you understand something which is incomprehensible with the mind? Not possible. So this is what grace does. It transforms and freed one. But of course, for that grace to happen, you'll be tested. It's not just like that, because grace you must earn it. Otherwise you will take it for granted. Like that in life, how many times, one perceives the grace of the Master. Easily, some people can see it. Easily they can forget about it. Finding many excuses. This is due to the mind state. Some people can brush it completely away. Some people can tell you today they love you, tomorrow they don't love you. Because have they ever understand what is love? No. That's why easily they can forget about things. The multitude is the grace. Multitude of possibilities is the grace of the Master. Where he makes something which is impossible possible. There's a beautiful story. You were in Israel right now, doing the pilgrimage. Probably you have heard the story already. No? Maybe I'll let Tim tell the story. Maybe it will be weird for myself to talk about the story, but just to cut it short.
Here you participants. She woke up in the morning and she deeply prayed to the Lord to give her an answer whether Guruji was who she hoped he was. Then she realized that she lost one of her little purses, a little bag. And in the bag she had some important items: passport, credit cards, and something deeply personal. And she spent the whole day along with the guides, the Israeli guide, the bus driver, two of the tour leaders. They went through the bus, they went through the room, they went through all her luggage. They all took turns looking in her big bag, which the little purse was in. They tried to figure out when the last time she saw it was. And the tour guide, Munir, said, "Oh, my friend runs that place, and we can look at the security footage to see if we can find any information out." And they were able to see her putting the little purse bag back into her shoulder bag. So they were like, "It's there, we know that you put it in there." But it wasn't there. And so later in the day, we get on the bus, and she's sitting behind me, and Guruji is sitting in front of me, in the row in front of me, and I knew nothing of this story yet. I hadn't heard about it. And Guruji said, "Let's see your bag." So she passed the bag over my head and handed it to Guruji. And Guruji put the bag in his lap, and then he made the sign of the cross over the bag. And he says, "Let's see what God's will has in store." And he unzipped the bag, and he reached his hand in the bag about finger deep. Didn't really look, he just reached in and pulled out a little small purse bag. He said, "Is this it?" And she said, "Oh my God, yes, yes." And so the answer to her prayer came in a very special way. And the thing that she was most touched by was the personal item which she had in mind for him. And that was what really was touching her heart the most. Not her passport, not her credit cards. And so it was a beautiful moment, and there was many of us there that got to watch this moment, including our tour guide, who was in complete shock. And he said he's never seen a miracle like that before, ever. Anyway, Jacob there.
And what is this grace? It is only the grace of Vishwananda. Question? Yes,
Jacob, Dave, I have the question. When I surrender to God, is it possible for me to make a mistake or to miss an opportunity, or is all what I do all the will of God, all mistakes and everything?
Every moment of your life is the grace of God. No? Every moment of even a mistake is only for you to learn something. That's why it is said, the Gita, Krishna said, there is no good, there is no bad. It's how you perceive it. So if you mind, in chapter 8, verse 26, and it is beautiful what he said in that the ways of the darkness and the ways of light is eternal. Both of them are eternal. So, what he wants to say, you see, is if you divine inside of you, everything that you do will transform into the divine. That state of the mind, what you hold inside of you, you'll be guided. But if your mind turns towards the darkness, then it becomes negativity. So everything that you do will become negative. So your question was, if you are surrendered, if you are surrendered, you should not take it for granted. You should know that every moment of your life is with you. So mistake will happen. You're a human being now. If humans don't make mistakes, who else will do? And of course, you see, like I said, love is the most important thing. When you're taking shelter to His feet, that means you have that love inside of you. So there is no mistake in that. Like He said, in the Gita itself, Lord Krishna said, even if a criminal takes shelter to me, shall become a saint, shall become considered as a saint. So, this is even deeper. Question, please. Yes. Probably. Okay.
Dear Gurudev, recently Swami Niruddha shared on his Satsang that he had a talk with you that you were discussing that even the saints who went to heaven, but they had that they perceived God only in a certain way, like for example only as Jesus. And what happens if they see Narayana? What's happening with their mind, because they somehow still have the mind?
Look, one thing is that when a saint, when you leave this body, you have a spiritual body. Which means for you to have a spiritual body, you have had a certain advancement. Within your mind, your thinking, or your consciousness don't dwell the same way as some stupid people here. And as long as you're here, you're stupid. You're full of judgment, full of contradiction, full of, comparisons and so on. But once you go to the other side, you perceive the totality. Even if your whole life you have believed in Jesus, you have believed in Krishna, you have believed in Rama, Shiva, of course, the divine will come to you firstly as according to what you have believed. But doesn't mean that you don't perceive the totality of the Supreme Lord in its fullness everywhere. So when you go to the other side, that change. But when you come here, you have to play the role. So imagine talk about nourishing a day to some very deep, dear Christian people, will not be able to understand anything because they don't have that understanding of that grace. Often it is said that to be on the spiritual path is a very, to transcend the limitation of the mind. It's a great grace itself, which is not given to everybody. So even the saints, when they perceived here, being physically here on this earth, they have to keep it sacred. For example, there were instant, even in the book, I think in one more book of the Padre Pio, one Indian person who went to visit him, and he said to the person, "You chant Om Namah Shivaya." But that is not known, you understand? This is a personal experience towards the saint. For example, then Porphyrius, when one of the devotees, he was still alive, met him, they were talking on a different more open. But everybody wants to see in a very square, everybody wants to perceive the divine in a very dogmatic way, in a very square way. They're not open to the grandness and the fullness of the Lord Himself. Only when you're open to the fullness of God that you will perceive Him everywhere. So, those saints who reach to that level, yes. And they don't have any problem, even if there's Osham and Narayana in that form. They will must know, but it is just one aspect of it. One more question. Keep him the mic.
Gurudev. I have one question, and is this how we can stay stable on our path?
How to be stable on one path? Well, that is the whole journey of life itself, to become stable. Firstly, you have to be sure, and you have to completely trust the path. If you don't trust that path, then you will never be stable. And the one thing is that when you trust your path, whatever you are in, don't look elsewhere. This is the danger. But very often, people which is not stable, they like searching around. They like making a biryani, takes this and that, and they start to compare, But then you will go around. If that is your path, then you will come back again. You go through a learning process. But to be strong in one path, you have to give the fullness of yourself, completely. Because just to know the path like that, look, I'm in the path like this, it don't make much sense. It's like you have a recipe. When you have a recipe, do you know the taste of the food? You don't know the taste of the food. You may have the recipe, how much to put inside, the exact amount of spice and the exact amount of ingredient, But unless you cook the food and taste it, you will not know what it is. Same thing. Like we said, love grows more you love Him. So devotion also grows more you are devoted unto that. And if you want to be stable, really to love God and spread His love to everybody, that will make you stronger. It's only in love that you become strong. Without love, you are not strong. But those who have adventure into the path of loving, they are strong. That's why I said, love is, you have to it is a great challenge for everybody. Because when we talk about love, we are talking about something which is beyond the concept of what people understand. You can talk about the mind. People have a certain understand about the mind. It creates a ripple inside. When you talk about your body, it creates a certain ripple. But when you talk about love, when you talk about your path, you talk about God, for example, your soul, for example, it doesn't create a ripple. What it creates fear. Why? Because that is unknown. And it is a journey which you are upon to walk towards that. take all your effort. Understand? If you just take your power for granted, it will lead you nowhere. But when you journey into it, you give your fullness into it, no matter what, you stand strong upon that, then you will have the reward of it also. It is like once a king wanted to test his people. He placed on the main road, he placed a big boulder. And he was hiding and watching. And he put the guards there. And he was watching. Many people pass by. They go around it. Sideways. Everybody likes to go sideways. So they go around it. The wealthiest and more prominent of the city itself, some of the ministers, they walk by and look at the boulder and said, "This is terrible, the king have leave this road unclean, it's so bad." It was criticizing the king even. But no one pushed the boulder, because nobody knew but it was the king who pulled it. But nobody pushed the boulder away. They're happy to go on with their normal mundane life, go sideways. They don't want to make any effort. Then there was a peasant passing by with his, he was going to the city to sell his vegetable. So as he was passing by, he saw this big boulder. He put all his vegetables there. And he, with all his force, was trying to push it. Little by little, he cleared the way. And he went back to his vegetables to carry. And to his amazement, when he moved the boulder, there was a purse. And he was shocked to see the purse. And he opened it. There was a letter from the king. And it was full of gold. And inside the letter said, "This gold is for the one who moved the boulder." Understand what it meant. Those who perceived upon their spiritual path, no matter what, they will move mountains. They will do so many things. And the reward of that will be also great. So, weakening is here in the mind. When you get weak in the mind, then you will get weak on your path. But when you're strong